Good morning, children. Hope you all are doing well. Let's learn something new today. In this session, we are going to learn about medieval period. Let's recall what we have learned in the previous session. We discussed about the Aryans who came to India from Central Asia and also about the Indo-Aryans who formed a number of small kingdoms called Janapadas. We also talk about the Chandragupta Maurya who founded the Mauryan Empire, and the Gupta period is known as the golden age of Indian history. The fall of Gupta Empire marked the beginning of medieval period in India. The medieval period of India started by the end of 7th century. The powerful rulers of Central Asia looking for expansion of their kingdoms towards the end of 7th century. They were attracted to India's wealth. They were Muslim rulers. Muhammad of Ghazni and Muhammad Gauri attacked the kingdoms in India and looted their riches. Muhammad Gauri appointed a Turkish slave leader, Kutubuddin Aybak. Kutubuddin Aybak was the governor of North India. After Muhammad Gauri's death in 1206 CE, Kutubuddin Aybak became the ruler of North India. He founded a new empire called Delhi Sultanate. Delhi Sultanate had strong armies, hence, many parts of India became under their control. He was followed by powerful rulers like Iltutmish, Razia Sultan, Balban, and Alauddin Khilji. When the Delhi Sultanate declined, North India was divided into many small kingdoms. Did you know Qutub Minar was built by Kutubuddin Aibak? It is the tallest minar in India. Kutubuddin Aibak started the construction but could not finish. However, his successor Iltutmish completed it. It is in Delhi.
Part 1. Formation of the Delhi Sultanate. In 1206 AD, Muhammad Ghori died and Qutbuddin Aibak declared himself the Sultan of Delhi. 2. The Sultanate period. The period of about 320 years from 1206 CE to 1526 CE is known in Indian history as the Sultanate period. During this period, 5 dynasties ruled over Delhi. The Slave Dynasty. Qutbuddin Aibak laid the foundation of the slave dynasty. He ruled for 4 years. Aram Shah became the ruler of the slave dynasty after Aibak's death, but was defeated and overthrown by Qutbuddin Aibak's son-in-law, Iltutmish. An able and powerful administrator, Iltutmish established a vast kingdom by 1220 AD. Shortly after Iltutmish's death, his able daughter Razia ascended the throne. Being a woman, she had to face many difficulties. Some of the Turkish nobles plotted against her, and she was murdered in 1240 as she favored non-Turkish nobles. Administration of the Delhi Sultanate was carried over by Balban. Balban was strong-built and a powerful personality. Being a strict disciplinarian, he recommended simple living. Balban died in 1287 and the throne went to the Khilji dynasty. Let us now talk about the
That was all about Delhi Sultanate. Now let's learn about the next empire, which is the great Mughal Empire. The Mughals were the great part which ruled Indian subcontinent. They ruled a large empire during 1526 to 1707 CE. Mughals are from the ruling families of Central Asian countries. The first Mughal conqueror, Babur, established the Mughal Empire in 1526 CE. Babur came to India and led the foundation of Mughal Empire in India. After Babur, his son Humayun became the Mughal emperor. He was succeeded by his son Akbar in 1556 CE. Akbar was the greatest Mughal ruler. Akbar came to the throne at the age of 13. He was assisted by his trusted general Bairam Khan in managing his affairs. He conquered a large number of kingdoms and brought the greatest part of India under his control. After Akbar came Jahangir and then Shah Jahan. The fifth Mughal emperor was Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan was the founder of magnificent monument Taj Mahal. Did you know Taj Mahal is one of the 7 wonders of the world? It was built by Shah Jahan in the memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. It is located at the bank of river Yamuna in Agra. Shah Jahan's one of the son Aurangzeb was victorious. He imprisoned his father and killed his 3 brothers and became emperor. Shah Jahan was succeeded by his son Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb's period was from 1658 to 1707 CE. Aurangzeb ruled for 50 years and he was the last important ruler of Mughal dynasty. The period of the great Mughals, which began with Babur, ended with the death of Aurangzeb. The rulers who came after Aurangzeb were called the later Mughals. Around 18th century, other rulers like Rajputs, Sikhs, Marathas and the state of Mysore became powerful. Let's recall about Mughal rulers. The Mughal Empire from 1526 to 1530. Babur was followed by his son Humayun from 1530 to 1556. After Humayun, Akbar became the Mughal ruler from 1556 to 1605. He was the greatest Mughal ruler. Akbar was succeeded by his son Jahangir from 1605 to 1627. Jahangir was followed by his son Shah Jahan from 1627 to 1658. Shah Jahan was succeeded by his son Aurangzeb from 1658 to 1707, the last important ruler of Mughal dynasty.
The Mughal dynasty laid its foundation in India in the early 16th century. The dynasty started with the coming of the first ruler, Babur, who crossed Afghanistan and reached the Punjab plains in 1526 AD. Babur was born in Farghana in 1483 and ascended the throne at a very young age. He defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the first battle of Panipat. Babur was succeeded by his son Humayun in 1530. He divided his inheritance equally among his brothers, according to the will of his father. He started the construction of the Purana Killa, but could not finish it. Humayun was defeated by Sher Shah Suri and had to flee to Iran. He died in 1556 due to an accident on the staircase. Humayun was succeeded by his very young son Akbar in the same year. Akbar expanded the kingdom from Kabul to Bengal. He built the walled city of Fatehpur Sikri in 1571. The Navratans, or the 9 courtiers, found an important place in Akbar's court. Akbar started the new religion, Deen-e-Ilahi. Jahangir succeeded the throne after Akbar in 1605. He was the first emperor to open relations with the British East India Company in India. His empress, Begum Noor Jahan, was the real power behind the throne. Shah Jahan was Jahangir's third son, who was born in Lahore in 1592. He was a great connoisseur of art and architecture, building monuments like the Taj Mahal, the Jama Masjid, and the beautiful Shalimar Gardens in Srinagar. The majestic peacock throne is also from his time. Aurangzeb was the last emperor who sat on the Mughal throne in 1658. He was an autocratic ruler who was deeply religious, believing in the Islamic law of Sharia. The Mughal Empire reached its zenith during Aurangzeb's rule. The territorial extent of the empire was short-lived, as revolts of subsidiary rulers challenged its integrity. By the 17th century, the Mughal Empire had lost its glory, but had left behind a political legacy few people could ignore.
Let's have a quick recap about this session. Qutbuddin Aibak founded a new empire called Delhi Sultanate. The Mughal Empire founded by Babur. Akbar was the greatest Mughal ruler. Aurangzeb was the last important ruler of Mughal dynasty. That's all for this session. Take care. Be safe.